Señores representantes,
Representatives, on behalf of the Exchange and Cooperation Center of Latin America, CICAL, an international organization which acts as a consultative body at ECOSOC, UNCTAD and WIPO, let me salute you and salute the president of this assembly for conducting the ILC. The report of the Director General on achieving social justice deals with the essential elements for standard setting in the ILO, and it also establishes the programme's main lines for development to address inequalities between social groups and countries. What is social justice? Well, it is the aspiration of human beings without distinction of race, religion or sex to have the same rights, to have material well-being, a spiritual development, and in conditions of freedom and dignity, economic security and equal opportunities. This is in line with the fundamental principle of the ILO that work is not a commodity, as stated in the Declaration of Philadelphia. Social justice allows societies and economies to operate in a more cohesive fashion and efficient fashion in order to allow the development of the productive potential and reduce poverty and inequality. It must be understood that the four dimensions are interlinked. This first dimension is the respect of universal human rights. Secondly, equal access to job opportunities. Thirdly, equal distribution of wealth. And fourth, just transition. Social justice is present in the objectives of the ILO. Thus, the Decent Work Programme, as in the Declaration of the ILO on Fair Globalization, in its amended version of 2022, establishes a clear set of objectives to achieve the universal aim of social justice. We must acknowledge the interdependence of employers and workers, as well as the state and social society, which constitute the basis of social justice. Human rights must be respected in order to allow equal opportunities and facilitate the inclusion and protection of marginal sectors. Social development must be just, and structural differences must be reduced between the social groups and countries. The criteria and objectives to achieve social justice have been impacted by circumstances that have modified the priorities of countries. The health crisis of 2020, for example, the Russia-Ukraine conflict, climate change, virtual technologies, migration, amongst others, have increased poverty and inequality across the globe. Various studies agree that the wealthiest percent of the population of the world owns 38% of all wealth accumulated since the mid-1990s, whereas the poorest 50% only possess 2% of this wealth. The situation varies from one continent to the other and within each country. The common denominators are the deterioration of exchanges, fewer job opportunities, automation, the reduction of social, medical and educational programs for the most disadvantaged. The economic difficulties have led to political restructuring. In the current situation, most countries are performing their policies in a context of liberalism and economic and democratic liberalism. This means, how can we resolve the situation using this liberalism so that the wealthiest few and democracy share their wealth with others? In Latin America, these political and economic transformations will have to implement inclusive policies in order to promote the wealth and better well-being of the disadvantaged.